Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 8 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem 1963. Minimum number of swaps to make the string balanced. Okay, so in this problem you are given a 0 index string S of even length n. The string consists of exactly n by 2 opening brackets and n by 2 closing brackets. Okay, same number of opening and closing brackets, right? A string is called balanced if and only if it is the empty string. Okay, it can be written as AB where both A and B are balanced strings. Okay, it can be written as C where C is a balanced string. Okay, you may swap the brackets at any two indices any number of times. We have to turn the minimum number of swaps to make string S balanced. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear with this problem statement, right? So if it is an empty string, then it is also balanced. Okay, it can be written as AB. Okay, so let's say A is like this and B is like this. Okay, then also it is balanced, right? This is balanced, this is balanced, the overall string is balanced, right? If it can be written as C, so let's say C is like this only, then it is also balanced. Okay, so it's just a definition of what is balanced string. Okay, so we don't need to actually care about this. We know that we can make our string balanced because we are given string of even length, and string is consisting of exactly n by 2 opening brackets and n by 2 closing brackets. Okay, so just one important thing is here is that we have to turn the minimum number of swaps to make string as balanced. Okay, so this is important thing. Okay, and these are the constants. N is nothing but my length of string, and n is can be very large, right? N is even number, this is fixed, and s of I is either opening bracket and closing bracket, right? The number of opening bracket and closing bracket are same, right? N by 2. So this is example number 1. Okay, so here see right now this string is unbalanced. Okay, so we have to make it balanced, right? So here this is one closing bracket and then this opening bracket and this closing bracket. Okay, so these two are going to balance them out, so we can swap actually these two. Okay, so after swapping my this string is going to look like this, and this is balanced, right? I have swapped this 0 index with this 3 index. Okay, you can make the string balanced by swapping index 0 with index number 3. The resulting string is like this and it is balanced, right? It is balanced, right? So this is one example, right? And example number 2. Okay, so here all the strings are not balanced. Okay, so here what we are going to do, so we are going to swap. Okay, so there are many possibilities like you guys can do here. You can swap this 0 index with this one last one. Okay, so then my string is going to look like this. Okay, and inside this everything else is same. Okay, so this is one operation. Okay, you have swapped these two. Okay, then after that you can swap these two, let's say. So then this is going to happen. Okay, this 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 and this here. Okay, so you have swapped these. This is one operation and this is two operation, and now you see that our string is balanced out, right? So you have swapped, let's say you have swapped this with this and this with this. Now see, this is balanced out. Why I'm saying this is balanced out? So you can try to push them into stack. Okay, I'm not going to use stack in this problem, but I'm just going to show that why it is balanced. Okay, so you have inserted one opening bracket. Okay, then after that there is one more opening bracket. Okay, so you have inserted, both are not both are same, right? And then after that there is one closing brackets coming, so you just remove it. Okay, so we have found one combination, let's say. Okay, then after that there is one more opening bracket, so let's push that. Then after that there is one closing bracket, so instead of pushing this we are just going to pop it out. Okay, then there in the end there is one more closing bracket, so see, my stack is empty, so this string is perfectly balanced, right? Using this. Okay, so this is one case, and here this string is perfectly balanced, right? So string is already balanced, so that is why we are returning 0 here. Okay, so now how we are going to solve this problem? This is the main question, right? So here just see example number 1. Okay, one closing bracket, then two opening bracket and one opening bracket. Okay, so this is how my example 1 is looking like, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to iterate over all the characters in my string. Okay, so let's give the indexing first. So this is index number 0, index number 1, index number 2, and index number 3. Okay, so I'm going to let's create two variables. Okay, first is imbalance. Okay, imbalance. So here initially it is 0, and I'm just going to take the count of swaps, whatever the number of steps swaps that I'm going to do. So initially it is 0 only. Okay, so now I'm just going to iterate. Let's say my I is at this position, I'm going to iterate over this string one by one. So here, when my character at any particular index is opening bracket, okay, then in that case I'm just going to increment the count of imbalance. Okay, I'm going to increment the count of this imbalance, and if it is a closing bracket, then I'm just going to decrement the count of imbalance. Okay, this variable. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here. So here my right now my I is at this particular index, so here it is a closing bracket, right? Closing bracket. So I'm going to decrement the count of imbalance. So yes, it is imbalance string, right? Because in the starting only itself there is one closing bracket. So what I'm going to do, so if my imbalance count becomes less than 0, okay, then in that case what I'm going to do, I'm going to increment the count of swap. Okay, so here imbalance count becomes negative, okay, less than 0, so I am going to increment the count of swap. So swap count is going to be 1 here. Okay, and then I'm going to reset my imbalance. Okay, I'm going to reset my imbalance to 1. Why I'm doing this, so we will see this. Okay, so imbalance is set to 1 now. Okay, as soon as my imbalance count becomes negative, okay, that simply means that we have more closed bracket than opening bracket. Okay, in that case I'm just going to increment the count of my swap, and I'm just going to reset imbalance because we balance out the current mismatch. Okay, so this is done. Then after that my I is going to move further. Okay, so now my I reaches to this index here. Okay, so now at this position there is one opening bracket, so this is opening bracket, so I am going to increment the count of imbalance. So imbalance, last time I reset imbalance to 1. Okay, now I am incrementing the count of imbalance, so my imbalance will become 2 here. Okay, imbalance will become 2 here. Okay, imbalance is not negative. Okay, it is not negative, so I'm not going to do these things. Okay, then after that here there is one closing bracket, so my imbalance count is going to be decremented now. Okay, so if it closing bracket, then imbalance count is going to decrement, so it is going to become 1. Okay, now see here, now there is one opening bracket. Okay, there is one opening bracket, so now my imbalance count will become 2. Okay, incremented. Okay, imbalance count becomes 2. Now in the end we have to just return swap, so swap count was 1 only, so that is why I'm going to return 1 here. Okay, okay, now let's understand this with this example. Okay, this is nothing but my example number 2. Okay, okay, so here there is one closing bracket, so swap count is incremented to 1, and my imbalance is going to be become, I'm going to reset it. Okay, 1. Okay, then here my imbalance count will be 0. Okay, it is decremented. Okay, and then here again my imbalance count will become -1, right? -1. So as soon as it becomes negative, okay, so my swap is going to be incremented to 2, and my imbalance is going to reset to 1. Okay, then after that my imbalance count will be incremented to 2 here, imbalance count will be incremented to 3 here, imbalance count will be incremented to 4 here. Okay, so in the end my swap count is 2. Okay, so this is what I'm going to return. Okay, so now let's discuss why I am setting my imbalance, resetting my imbalance to 1 instead of 0. Okay, so simple reason is that because I am not swapping these things in real time. Okay, I am not swapping these two in real time. Okay, for example 1, I am just incrementing the count of swap and I'm moving forward, right? So we have to balance it out, this opening bracket, later on. So that is why I am taking the imbalance count as 1 while resetting. Okay, because I am still left with one character which I need to balance later on. Okay, so here in this example number 2, let's see if what happens if you use imbalance as 0. Okay, if you use reset to 0. Okay, that is wrong actually, but let's see what is going to happen. Then it is going to give you the incorrect answer for this example number 2. Okay, so here let me just draw it. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is wrong information. Okay, so this is not correct thing. Okay, So here you first impedance count is going to become negative here. So what you did, you increment the count of swap to 1 and you reset impedance to 0 this time. Okay. Then after that again it is negative, impedance is again negative, then swap is going to increment to 2, again it is negative, then again my swap is incremented to 3 and imbalance is set to 0, impedance is set to 0, impedance is set to 0. But this is not the correct output, right? 3 is not the correct answer for this particular problem, right? 2 is the correct answer, because after swapping this with this I can balance out these two, right? Okay, this is how it looks like. And now let's say I have swapped it, so later on I'm only dealing with, okay, later on I have to, these two already balanced out, okay, at this particular point. So that is why when I was using correct imbalance as 1, so see here, until here imbalance was 1 and swap was only 1, okay. So until here swap was only 1 because this string is automatically balanced out, okay. So since we are not doing the swap in real time, okay, so that is why we have to reset imbalance to 1, because we are still left with one character, okay, one parenthesis to balance out later on, okay. So that's the simple reason. Now let's move to the coding part. So code is also going to be very very simple for this one, okay, nothing much in this. So int imbalance, okay, let me write it complete. Imbalance is equal to 0, int swap is equal to 0, okay. Imbalance is going to track the number of excess closing brackets, right? And swap is going to track the number of swaps needed, okay. Then after that just run one loop for int I is equal to 0, I is less than s dot length I plus plus, and here inside this just check if s dot char at particular index I is equal to this, okay. Then in that case we have to simply increment the count of imbalance, okay. And in the else part, okay, we have to just decrement the count of imbalance, right? And then we have to check if my imbalance becomes negative, then we have more closing bracket than opening bracket, okay. So here I'm just going to write if imbalance is less than 0, then in that case swaps is going to be incremented, and imbalance I have to reset it to 1. Reason simple, because we are not doing the actual swapping, okay. So we have to balance out one more bracket later on, okay. So imbalance is equal to 1, all right. And then here return swaps, that's it, okay. Now let's run it and see if there are any code issues. So yes, so here's spelling mistake, so let's correct it and let's run it again and see. Okay, there is one more spelling mistake. So many spelling mistakes here. Also I'm using the incorrect spelling, imbalance. All right, let's run it again. Okay, swaps. So what is the variable name I'm using? I'm using swap only here, okay. So let's make it swaps then, okay. Anywhere else I'm using swaps elsewhere, right? So let's use swaps only. So now all the test cases has been accepted. Now let's submit it. So see, our solution is accepted, right? And the time complexity for this problem is going to be of n, okay, right? Because we are just iterating over all the characters in my string one by one, right? So that's a simple reason. So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. If you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you guys in the next video, and don't forget to like this video, share this video with your friends and brothers and sisters, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye bye.